I am in search of another planet in the universe where life exists. I can't see this planet with my naked eyes, or even with the most powerful telescopes we currently possess, but I know that it's there. And understanding contradictions that occur in nature will help us find it. And it's no surprise that this is my specialty. I'm an African-American female astronomer and a classically trained actor who loves to wear makeup and read fashion magazines. So I am uniquely positioned to appreciate contradictions in nature. And how they can inform our search for the next planet where life exists. My organization, Rising Star Girls, teaches astronomy to middle school girls of color using theater, writing, and visual art. That's another contradiction. Science and art don't often go together, but interweaving them can help these girls bring their whole selves to what they learn, and maybe one day join the ranks of astronomers who are full of contradictions and use their backgrounds to discover once and for all that we are truly not alone in the universe.
That was Dr. Iowa Shields during her 2016 TED Talk discussing her work as an astronomer and her search for life in the greater universe. She details all of this in her new book entitled Life on Other Planets, a memoir of finding my place in the universe. It tells the story of how to create a life that has space for love, wonder, and joy while digging into the question, are we alone? And Dr. Shields joins us now, and I guess my question for you, congratulations on the book, but in the book, do we get closer to the answer or closer to those important facets of life, including joy?
Well, I'm so honored to be here, and the answer is all of the above. You get to understand how, what our place in the universe can be and is, and how so much of what we plan and want and dream for ourselves can start with how we feel about ourselves, whether we are into science or we're into art or something that we haven't quite allowed to be present in our lives, that there's truly this infinite amount of possibilities.
And this is also somewhat of a personal story. Tell us a little bit about your connection to all of this. What drives your passion to find these answers?
Yes. So I've always felt like a bit of a, as I say in the book, a rare magical unicorn, in that I had these two things that I loved, and astronomy and acting, and they were seemingly very far apart from each other. And as the book shows, there was a long path that I took to realizing that I didn't have to try to figure out how to combine the two. However, it was important for me to accept that I had this background and it was non-traditional, and that I could do it differently. Just because I didn't have a role model for what I wanted to do didn't mean that I couldn't do it. I could be my own role model. And so I wanted other people out there who may have multiple interests or might have left a dream somewhere along the way, and they're coming back to it a little later in life, or they have this feeling of being called to do something that they're not yet doing. I wanted them to know that they're not alone, because I realize now that I'm not as much of a rare magical unicorn as I once thought I was. I receive emails from people all over the world who are saying, I love engineering and piano, and I don't know what to do about that. And I wanted them to know that they don't really have to do anything about it, yet they do have to accept and embrace it, right? Embrace their whole selves and their full potential.
Mika, can I just say this is one of those moments on the show where it's just so special to be here because you have someone that's so dynamic like Dr. Shields. You are one of only 26 Black women to ever receive a PhD in astrophysics.
True.
I mean, that's just incredible.
Amazing.
And you also have your MFA in acting. With your career, did you ever have just kind of an aha moment where you realized how you could combine the two passions of acting and communicating and your love of the stars and the world above?
I did.
That's just great book.
Yes, thank you. I was the second time around. So I started my PhD program in astronomy right out of undergrad, and I didn't really make a conscious choice. I sort of thought, well, that's what you're supposed to do. And during that first year, I was divided because I had done acting and I had seen how much I loved that. And so I left, and there was a lot of self-doubt. I listened to some comments that I internalized the comments and, and let that feed that self-doubt. And then I went away and did the other dream, acting. And then coming back many years later, over a decade later, to astronomy, I felt like I had to sweep that acting side, the humanities side, under the rug to be taken seriously as a scientist. And I had a mentor during that second PhD program in astronomy tell me, your theater background is your superpower. And it was like the light bulb went off in my head. I didn't have to ignore it or deny it. I could own it, own that this was my background and that I was going to be an astronomer. Like, no human being is powerful enough to tell me that I don't belong in this field. I get to decide that, and with the universe's help, if I'm meant to be here, I could trust that I was there for a reason, and unless I was given a sign that I wasn't supposed to be there by someone other than a human, I could continue to do that. And then it's like that shift in my mind told me, it changed everything, because I was able to see how the acting background fueled the work that I did as a scientist. We give talks a lot. I get talks about astronomy. I get to talk to students about astronomy in lectures, and that acting training allows me to transmit and share the wonder and the awe that I first discovered as a child for the universe with my students in ways that I don't think I would have been able to had I not had that background.
All right, the book is entitled Life on Other Planets, a memoir of finding my place in the universe.
That's
Dr.
so fantastic.
Ayam Shields, what an amazing story and an amazing book. Thanks for being on this morning.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you.